that.
I did like that. Hello, everybody. I'm Drew from the Nitwicks. Welcome to the Shiny Race, where me and Raisin Shiny Race Pokemon. We try to get the shinies before each other while discussing Pokemon topics and life topics in a podcast format. Today we're talking about something that is very close and dear to our hearts. Pokemon Go.
It's Swinub Day.
It's Swinub Day currently, which is kind of interesting because it just started right as we were about to have this conversation about Pokemon Go.
It was.
This is probably the most controversy Pokemon Go has had in a long time.
Yo, yes.
Due to them making so many horrible mistakes.
They are sucking big wee-wees.
Like I said, Pokemon Go was a really big deal for me and Raisin because we've been playing since pretty much the launch of the game.
2016?
I know you got out of it a little bit during Gen 2, but I never stopped playing. I want to do something constantly because that's just how my mind works. And Pokemon Go was one of those things where it's like, I know I can always pull it out and look for things and catch things and maybe find a shiny.
Yeah, I got out of it for a few months. Early. When the game first began.
Mm-hmm.
That's just I thought, like, no one else played it. I thought it was just some, like, bootleg game that company made.
I'm kind of surprised you had that opinion with how big it blew up.
But, like, I didn't know, like...
Like, the first month, it was insane. People who didn't like Pokemon was playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
Which you knew they were eventually going to phase out. I kind of wish it was more still as popular. Because a lot of people, after like, the first year, it's like, Pokemon Go is dead. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm still playing it.
Yeah.
But, like, all the people who were playing it just for clout and fame, I guess, left.
I have a feeling like
I
a
don't
lot
care.
of older people who grew up with, like, Gen 1.
Yeah, that was another big nostalgia factor. It's like they only cared about Gen 1, so it's like...
Yeah.
Once more gens come in the game, it's like, I'm not interested in those because those weren't around when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Or I didn't like those games.
Yeah.
That's understandable. I hope you enjoyed the game while you did during that time. And for the most part, I've never had a problem with Pokemon Go. I thought of Pokemon Go as one of those games where it's like, most of the time, they're making the right decisions.
Yeah, it's been good.
The community days, always... Which is funny, because my first community day, I didn't get one shiny. It was Mareep Day.
Oh, yeah. Because they did 2 community days back when they first began, I think in, like, 2017.
Mm-hmm. They did a Dratini Day.
Dratini was the first, and then they did Bulbasaur. We didn't know anything about that. We didn't know what they were.
Yeah, it was kind of like, what do you mean, community day? Like, I didn't know anything about the event. And then when we first participated in our first event, which was Mareep Day, I think, it was kind of fun. It was me, you, and Chris. I think it was it just us 3?
I think so.
Because that's all I remember. And we just went down and up the street, and we tried to get shinies, and there was Mareeps everywhere, which Mareep wasn't that common at that time, so it was kind of like, it was kind of cool.
You didn't get a single one.
I didn't get a single one.
Crazy.
But, I mean, yeah, it sucked, but at the same time, it's like, that didn't ruin my experience. I still had a lot of fun that day.
It's a great story nowadays.
And now I'm
especially because it's like a 1 in 25 chance now.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad it happened, because now it's like, we get 30 shinies every community day.
Yeah.
If we're actively going on it, which most of the time, we catch like 20, and then our group that we hang out with, they're ready to eat lunch.
Yep.
Even if it's like 3 o'clock. It's like, guys, I'm hungry. We should just go eat. It's like, I feel like they're just getting bored most of the time.
Yep.
But, it's always like, for a long time, when our group was busy and I had a full-time job with more hours than I do now, which was like 50 to 60 hours, like, our group would sometimes only hang out once a month.
For community day.
I think it was 2019 or 2018.
Yeah.
Where the only time we saw each other was community day.
Yeah.
So Pokemon Go was like the one thing that like brought us together. It's like, I mean, obviously we were still friends, but there was a time where
we couldn't really hang out because we were all just super duper busy with jobs and whatnot.
Yeah. And Pokemon Go was the one thing. It's like, hey, we can hang out during community day, talk, walk around, and catch Pokemon.
Yeah.
So like, Pokemon Go has a very special place in our hearts, is what I'm trying to allude to.
And like we've met people through Pokemon Go.
Yeah, lots of nice strangers. We joined a Discord server for our area.
Well, it started as a Facebook group.
Which I didn't really join the Facebook group, though.
No, I did.
I wasn't interested until the Discord server. And then Jalen told me about the Discord server, and I joined it. And basically I started adding a bunch of people, and eventually, those friends became lucky friends, and I would meet up with them and trade shiny legends, and I've got a lot of shiny lucky legends now.
And now we notice people by their in-game name, don't even know their real-life name.
Yep.
I play as a female.
Yeah, so a lot of people think Raisin is a girl in real life when they meet him, which is pretty entertaining almost all the time.
I had one guy who, both of us have just been friends with in the game for years now, like 4 years now.
Yeah.
And we were lucky friends, and so the next trade we were going to do is a lucky Pokemon, which, if you don't know what that is, if you don't play Pokemon Go, a lucky Pokemon is when you trade it, it has an option or
It reduces the Stardust cost to power it up.
Yeah.
And it usually has really good stats. Almost always a guaranteed 3-star. Sometimes it's a 2-star. Very rare. And it also gives it a nice golden background, which is my favorite part of the lucky Pokemon.
It's pretty rare. And seeing us as we are shiny hunters, we love rarity.
Mm-hmm.
So, we were lucky friends, so it guaranteed the next trade we did was going to be lucky Pokemon. So, we met up with this guy, and he's like, you double O Raisin's my in-game name. And I'm like, you double O Raisin? I'm like, yeah, that's me. He goes, your avatar's a freaking girl, dude. I'm like, I know!
Ain't you cute?
Aren't I adorable?
But yeah, it's always fun to meet people.
Oh, yeah. A lot of great memories.
I'll never forget the first raid that we ever did.
Articuno.
And there was a group of 40 people. And this one lady is trying to take charge and hollering at everybody. Says if you are Team Valor, get in this line over here.
It was a whole system.
Yeah, it was we were trying to since there was more than 20 people, we had to divide the group into people where it would give us the most benefits, the most Pokeballs for each individual group.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my phone dying and having to charge it.
Oh my god.
Being worried I won't get the Articuno, and that I don't even think the shiny was available at the time. I think it was just Articuno.
Yeah, it was.
But it was such a big deal, and I don't think we've ever been to another raid where it was that many people.
Yep.
With leaders and everything.
Oh yeah.
It felt like I was in a little boot camp for Pokemon Go.
And then of course Pokemon Go started coming out with these live events like Go Fest, Go Tour.
Which we couldn't really do those at the time, so it was why should we get interested for something happening in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
It's kind of oh, that's cool. I wish we were there so we could get that one exclusive we can never get.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually those exclusives came to us in one way or another, where it's okay, now you can hatch Kangaskhan from 7k eggs.
Yeah.
Sold. I only got a week to do it, so I'm going to hatch the max amount of eggs as possible in a week.
Good God, you did.
And I did. I hatched a buttload of Mr. Mimes, Kangaskhan's, and Tauros. And I would open the max amount of gifts every single day. I would hatch 9 7Ks at one time. And usually I could get 2 batches in one day. I would take long nights around, long nights around my neighborhood to hatch those 7k eggs. So I put in a good amount of money in Pokemon Go on eggs alone, because I was buying super incubators all the time.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to know how much money I spent on this game.
So I was using 18 super incubators every single day that week.
Oh my
for that event.
God.
Because I wanted the shinies. And I did get shiny Kangaskhan, and I got shiny Tauros, and shiny Mr. Mime. So I got all 3 of them.
Farfetch'd.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get Farfetch'd.
Ah.
That's the one shiny I didn't get.
Failure.
Oh, man. I wish I got that instead of the Tauros.
Jeez, man. But yeah, Pokemon Go, been in our lives for, it's 2023 now, 7 years.
That's crazy.
7 years.
Dude, they're almost at the 10-year anniversary.
Their 10-year anniversary is going to be coming out around the same time as Generation 10.
They're going to make a horrible event where it's like
Can't wait. Pay $50.
the shiny odds are like you might get 3 in the full day event, the full 2-day event.
Oh my god.
That's what we're here to talk about today. Is Pokemon Go dying? So we talked about all the positives, how much it means to us.
Yeah, we talk about all the great memories we've had, and you may be asking, why is the episode title "Is Pokemon Go dying" if you have all these great memories?
Because they're messing up. Well, they're making some bad decisions lately. The biggest one is definitely the raid passes.
The remote raid passes, and what those are there passes for you to do raids in remotely. They came out with these when the pandemic hit in 2020. Best possible thing they ever could have added to the game, I would say.
Yeah, they only added them because of COVID, and they didn't want people getting together, so it's like now someone could go to the raid by themselves and remote raid you the option to participate in the raid without being close to it. An amazing idea, especially for people who don't really have in real life friends, or maybe they're just anxious to be around people in real life.
Social anxiety, or maybe they physically cannot go to a raid.
Yeah, that's another good point. The physically disabled who still want to play Pokemon Go but can't because they're conditioned.
This was the best thing for them, and for everyone.
Yeah,
really.
because people who don't have friends now, all they need to do is add some friend codes, and now they have people who can invite them, and there's incentive to invite them because a lot of raids you need multiple people to beat the raid,
and especially
themselves.
like since it hit, or since it came to the game when the pandemic hit, a lot of countries shut down, and like you can't go outside.
Yeah, there's not much
anything like that.
There's not much to do. A lot of people started playing video games during that time, started binge watching stuff, and Pokemon Go fell right in that category of what do I do since I can't go to work, can't
because Niantic
parties.
Niantic, the company that is in charge of Pokemon Go, I guess they realized that because of this pandemic, since no one's really going outside, hanging out, being in community anymore, Pokemon Go could have died.
Yeah.
Real fast.
Yeah. They made the right decisions to make sure that they kept Pokemon Go relevant. During this time, the Pokemon Go Community Day has actually dropped in quality as well.
Weedle Day.
Weedle Day.
Remember Weedle Day?
I remember Weedle Day. But like at the same time, I don't blame them because the excuse was COVID. They don't want people to be out.
Yeah.
But just like, fine, whatever. But they also made those community days 6 hours long.
Oh my god, they did.
They made them super long. So it's like you're guaranteed to get a shiny if you're just playing at home with like 2 spawns near you. It's like, okay, I can't really complain because they're trying. They're saying, hey, it's not safe to go out, but we're keeping Community Day alive regardless.
Yeah.
And we're going to increase the time. So, I mean, people can show up and then leave, and then more people can show up and leave. You don't have to all be together at the same time. Which, by COVID standards, that's a good decision to make.
It is good. It was great.
But it just doesn't make sense because they were making so much money off the remote raid passes.
So much.
So many people, they don't buy the Pokeballs, the appearance items. I know you do. I don't have to because I just open gifts every day.
No, not me. That takes too much time.
You'd rather just spend money.
Yes.
I'd rather work than open a gift. So, yeah. And pretty much the only reason I put money into Pokemon Go is only for the remote raid passes. I don't do the super incubator eggs.
Because with
anymore.
us, with the raids, we usually do the legendary raids.
Every time a shiny legend is available, we do all the raids until we have a shiny.
And then we can lucky trade them and get a shiny lucky Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we've done for like the past 3 to 4-ish years now.
Yeah, I've gotten at least 25 shiny legendaries in the game, and remind you, raid passes cost money. So I put in a lot of money into Pokemon Go specifically for the raid passes.
And to put the money in perspective, there's an in-game currency, it's the Pokecoins, and 100 Pokecoins, and there's obviously like little special deals that they have, like 100 Pokecoins cost like $1, and then I think like 500 costs $5. It's almost a 1-to-1 ratio.
But they give you slight discounts depending on how much you put.
Yeah. And for the raid passes, one raid pass costs 100 coins, so 1 for 1. 3 raid passes cost 250 coins, so a little deal there, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I knew that I would be getting every shiny legendary and trying for every shiny legendary, so I just put in the max amount, which is $100.
Oh.
Every single time. And then I only buy remote raid passes. So $100 will last me a few months if shiny legendaries are constantly coming out. And I know a lot of you are probably cringing like, oh, $100 in a Pokemon Go. Yeah. Yeah, I did.
I wish it was only just 100.
Because that was the biggest discount. It's like, if you know you're going to try to get every shiny legendary, might as well get the biggest discount possible.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my thought process. But the controversy about the remote raid passes is they decided to go up almost 2 times in value. Double the price. So you might as well just put $200 into Pokemon Go for those remote raid passes.
And the reason they did this, it was announced like just a couple months ago that it was kind of rumored that they were going to go up on the prices of raid passes, remote raid passes. Which that caused controversy.
Oh, the whole platform. Like, everybody in the community freaked out. People were making posts saying, all right, time to delete Pokemon Go. Don't give them a single penny. They need to reverse the decision immediately. And I agree. I kind of agree.
And then like a month ago, they did it.
They did it. They actually did it. We were not... I'm surprised that they did it.
I could not believe it.
But what was the incentive for doing that? Their excuse was they want to make people get out more to go to these raids.
Yeah.
And here's the problem. You've created a global community that was once a city community, and now all these people who have friends from different sides of the worlds, it's like... different side of the earth. It's like... we can only do 5 remote passes a day.
That's another thing they did. They
doubled the price.
They
so
limited
now
it.
You can, if you're trying to get a shiny legendary, you can only have 5 attempts a day. If you like I said, if you don't have friends and you don't want to go places, you only have 5 attempts a day. And
you know what's wild
is double the price. So you're paying more for less chances,
for
less rolls.
Is every Wednesday they have a little hour called Raid Hour.
Yeah, you can only do 5 now.
Yeah, so unless you, like, go to a park or, like, a downtown city area where there's a lot of gyms where the raids happen, if you don't do that, then you can only do 5 a day with the remote raid passes. And that really screwed a lot of people who, like you said, have friends all across the world.
Yep.
Like, in Japan, in the US, or in Europe. All these places, like, people had that global community, and it kind of just got ruined.
Yeah,
I think I saw like I watched a video where like because people would like stream Raid Hour, and like invite like their viewers. Well, like before the Raid Hour or the remote raid pass inflation went up, there was like, I think it said like 200 people streaming it on like Twitch, and then the inflation happened, and I think it was like 30 people streaming it on Twitch on a Wednesday on a Raid Hour. It was crazy.
They ruined incentive. They made it feel more like a punishment to do these raids now.
Yeah.
Which, another thing that really sucks is some of our friends got into Pokemon Go just so they can hang out with us more often.
Yeah.
And now it's like, now that they're really into it, it's like, oh, you missed the sweet spot. Now we're going to punish you and make you pay double for raids. And less opportunities, less rolls every single day to get this legendary, this shiny that you so desperately want. And it's like, you can't just give them more money, because now they're also limiting you. This is communism. Pokemon Go is communism. Confirmed.
Yeah, I don't think either of us have spent money on a raid pass.
Oh, dude, I haven't.
Since
Like, there's been shinies that have come out, which I got Tapu.
Bulu.
I got Tapu. Yeah, I got him within 2 raids, so I got it pretty
good.
quick, which was nice.
I couldn't do any because I didn't have any remote raid passes, and I did not want to spend $2 for
Yeah.
3 minutes.
I'm out of raid passes, and I looked at the price, and usually I just put in the 100. It's like, whatever. I want these shiny legendaries. I looked at that price. I didn't do it. I didn't get more raid passes. I'm like, there's no reason for me to just play for fun. Once I get a shiny, it's done.
Yeah.
Don't put any more money in. Like, they've made it a punishment to buy stuff from them. So I asked you guys on Twitter, Instagram.
Oh, we have more to talk about. There's still some crap.
Oh yeah, there's lots of stuff. But I do want to get into some of these comments because we're already pretty deep in this episode.
They've just had a string of like another like there have been 2 events I think since the remote raid situation.
Oh yeah, big events.
One
like,
of those was like
GoFest.
called a. Oh, we'll get there. Oh, I got something to say about GoFest. Because people thought it wasn't going to happen this year. A Mystic Hero event, which is like a small little week-long event. They do week-long events sometimes, which is cool.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the last few have been kind of lackluster. And they usually put out, like, these infographics, like saying, hey, these Pokemon will spawn in the wild, these will be hatching in eggs, and here's, like, the field research stuff. So, a Mystic Hero, it was kind of based around the 3 team leaders, and this one was about Team Mystic's leader. And they were, at the end of the research, they were going to do a costume Lapras, which you can only get one of.
Special Lapras.
Which kind of sucks.
Which, I mean, that's kind of like most mythicals, though. It's like you only get one chance.
It's not even a mythical.
Like, my Shiny Mew was like 2 stars.
It's a freaking Lapras.
I know, but it's still an event mon, you know.
I know
one.
it's costume and like, but you only get one shiny check for it, which makes it
very
ironically probably the rarest costume shiny you could have at this point, if anyone has it.
I think you're right on that. Yeah, I think that's the only one where it's like you could only get one of.
Yeah, and
usually they have raids.
The way the time zone works is it's always like kind of local time nowadays. When the events start, like 10 a.m. local time for wherever you're at. So, like, New Zealand area is kind of the first set of people to...
That's the test area.
I hate to call it that, but yeah, it's the test.
If they want to add something and they don't want to ruin it for, like, America, they test it out in New Zealand first.
Yeah, because that's just the way the time zone works, and like it's always going to be coming out in New Zealand area first. I think they forgot to turn like the shiny Lapras on.
Ooh, for New Zealand. That's not the first time they've done that.
It's not the first time they did that.
I feel so bad for New Zealand.
It's not.
Because it happens so often over there where it's like, oh, sorry, if you were participating during this time in all these raids. This happened with Druddigon. When Druddigon Shiny was released in raids, New Zealand, they had like the first 3 hours, shiny locked. They could not get a shiny, and they were advertised that it can be shiny. And then, when they found out they forgot to switch it on, they told New Zealand, oh, we're sorry. And then they gave them, like, I think, like, what's equivalent to, like, 300 Poke Coins?
Yeah, I think they gave them, like, 3 raid passes.
Yeah, it's like, here's a few raid passes. We're not giving you your money back.
It's crazy. And they do that stuff all the time. Like
I may be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened.
He's not that far off.
Yeah, so if someone needs to correct me, go ahead and correct me in the comments. But I really think that's...
Yep. And then, this past event, the sustainability event, where Shiny Drillbur got debuted, the Pokemon Bound Suite got debuted.
That was recently, yeah.
It was just this past event. Like, it ended like 2 or 3 days ago. They put out, like I said, they put out infographics saying, like, all the information that's going to be happening in the event. And they stated that event-themed Pokemon will be hatching from 2-kilometer eggs.
Okay.
And there was only 3 of them. Bounsweet, Cherubi, and Drillbur. Drillbur, new shiny, very meta-relevant, actually, in Pokemon Go. So people were excited about that. I was excited about that. I was gonna hatch 2Ks out the wazoo.
I didn't hatch 82Ks during the event, so I can't really speak on this point.
A few days after they put out that infograph, they came back saying, "Well, sorry, we made an error on the infograph to where the Pokemon that was supposed to be spawning out of 2Ks are supposed to be hatching out of 7Ks."
There it is, yep. That makes sense. Usually 7Ks are their event eggs.
Yep. And people weren't happy.
As a company, I feel like you can't make mistakes like that.
Who's fact checking these people?
I feel like they were going to do that and then chose not to.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like, because 2 and 7 don't really rhyme. I don't see how they can make that mistake.
I mean, I guess they somewhat look similar.
Yeah, I mean, they're both in the shape of an egg.
It's just one of them has a line at the bottom of it.
One's a very special event egg that is also a different color that you can only get from friends. And then the other is 2K, which have been around since the debut of Pokemon Go. Mm-hmm. And they're green. I don't really understand. Like I said, 2 doesn't rhyme with 7.
It doesn't.
I don't understand how you can make a mistake like that and then keep it up for that long.
Yeah. And then we got GoFest, but I'll go into that a little bit more later. So we can get into some comments.
Yeah, let's read some comments. Like I said, there's lots of... Like you said, there's lots to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
But I do want to see what other people's opinions are. This one is from Zorana Dragon. It's really bad for places with hardly anyone who plays, or only one gym and a handful of Pokestops. That's all I'll throw in there. Which, yeah, that's pretty much exactly what we covered.
Kind of like a rural. It's one of the worst words I could ever try to say.
I hate that word so much.
Rural. Small town areas.
Rural.
To where, you don't have, like this person said, not a lot of players. And you got not a lot of players, that means not a lot of Pokestops, not a lot of gyms. Because Pokestops are, I'll say, nominated.
Yeah.
By the players, mostly. To where, I guess... I've never done it. They take a picture of it and send it in. Or
every
whatever.
Pokestop I ever nominated has never made it through.
Shoot, dang.
They're like, it has to be a specific landmark. I'm like, KFC has one. Why can't I give one to Wendy's?
Every single Starbucks.
Just make every restaurant a Pokestop, man.
Every single Starbucks has a Pokestop.
Yeah, but they're also sponsored.
True.
KFC to have one is just completely random. It's that's not a landmark. It's how did that get through?
KFC.
Maybe it is a landmark. Maybe I'm the one who's in the wrong.
I guess. You suck.
You suck, Ajax. SSJ Blue Waldo says, okay, so I asked a question. Do you think Pokemon Go is dying? That needed some context for his reply.
He said he's on his way over.
Oh, to the house or to here?
Let me find out. Keep going.
Okay. He said, nope. All they need to do is release Mega Mewtwo forms and Mega Rayquaza or Shiny Gimmighoul, and all these people that quote-unquote left will return. So he thinks that people are just going to stay mad and eventually come back to the game after they've cooled off. Which is pretty possible. I mean, every single time a video game company or a movie company is in heat with something, all they have to do is wait 6 months, and people forget about it, and people go on with their lives. Me and Raisin are so far into Pokemon Go that I don't think we'll ever get out of it, even though we are frustrated. Mm-hmm. So we might fall right into your category, honestly. Yeah, Mega Mewtwo would be a very big deal. Shiny Mega Rayquaza would be a freaking big deal. Awesome. Which I think they're going to do that for...
Can't say Go Tour because that already happened.
Yeah, you're right. Which, I mean, they released...
Primal
Groudon. Groger and Crydon.
That's another Pokemon.
That's a different Pokemon. What was... I had a theory. Oh! Next year is Year of the Dragon. I think they're going to do Mega Rayquaza for Year of the Dragon. I feel like that's going to be a bigger event than usual. That's my theory. But yeah, those will be very big deals when those come out. I think some people might actually leave Pokemon Go permanently. It's like they've been frustrated for a while, and this is the last straw, and now they're going to go do another game. And some people... Now, this is a theory. But a lot of people think Niantic is purposely ruining Pokemon Go
Because they just dropped another game.
because they dropped a Pokemon spin-off that they made that they're going to get more profit from because they own the rights to it. And that game is going to have, cheaper remote raid passes and all that stuff, which is a very good theory because,
So
Pokemon
you say it's
Go,
a Pokemon spin-off, so what, it's like Temtem?
it's like it's like capturing Pokemon
Oh.
in real life,
I'll tell you right now.
but they
No.
own the copyrights.
I'll tell you right now, no. It's not going to happen in Niantic.
But that's what they're hoping for.
It's
And
not. People are more attached to Pokemon, who's been out since 1998, 96.
Pokemon spin-offs come out like almost every week.
Yeah.
Especially on phone games and those
see
really
all those
bad
ads.
looking advertisements where they'll sponsor. We need to do a full video on that one day. I see so many ads where they will blatantly advertise Pokemon as like part of their game, and then the game will be nothing about Pokemon because they don't own the rights. But how do they get away with advertising that? Like, it'll be like obvious, like Mewtwo and Zapdos in their advertisement. It's like they can get away with that, but they can't get away with putting it in the actual game. What are they saying?
Oh.
Are we meeting at the house, or is Tiny coming here first?
I don't know. He hasn't responded.
Oh.
Taylor hasn't responded. I'll check to see where he's at. Pookie said he's going to go ahead and head over there since it's only 20 minutes from where he works.
Okay.
But I do want to talk about GoFest. Because, oh my god, I feel like it fits in perfectly with how he said, like, once Mega Rayquaza and Mega Mewtwo come out, people just join back in Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I guess we can get into that conversation. Well, I'll let you text him and I'll read more.
Yeah,
this one's from Mike Hall. Sticker him.
Wait a minute.
He says, yes, only because we're getting older and less time. You're wrong. You're wrong, Mike.
I think I play Pokemon Go more nowadays than I did.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I did not play Pokemon this much until I was an adult. I'll be honest. I put more time into this game and Pokemon Sword and Shield than I've ever put in probably all my Game Boy games combined. Like, and Mike, we see you all the time to do cards and videos and Pokemon related stuff. Like, it's not because we're older.
Pokemon cards count, Michael.
It's not because we're older. It's
they're
they're causing problems.
We just love it.
So yeah, thanks Mike for commenting. This is from Shadowfang42 on Tumblr, I believe. I personally never understood why you still have to pay for cosmetics tied to achievements. I didn't know this was a thing. Is this true?
Tied to achievements.
Have you heard of this? I don't think I've heard of this.
What does that mean?
And I didn't really fact check it to see if they were accurate. But I'm assuming you unlock like an outfit option to officially be able to buy it in the store. That's what it sounds like to me.
What?
Which, if that is true, that's really dumb. So, let's say you went to the shop and, there's a Celebi hat and it's locked. You cannot buy it. Then there's an achievement that you unlock in a quest and then it becomes buyable. That's what it sounds like from this comment, but I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Well, they're saying cosmetics tied to are they talking about the field research? Because I think wasn't there a Professor Willow's research to where you had to pay to get the research and then you can get his outfit or something?
Oh yeah, that's probably
maybe that's what they're talking about here.
You have to spend $10 to get the research and then get the cosmetic, instead of giving you the option to just buy the cosmetic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably what they mean. Personally, I don't care about the cosmetic parts of Pokemon Go too much.
I don't either.
It's kind of just
I have my outfit,
customization
white shirt, black pants, and a dino head hat. That's me.
Yeah. I put a Litwick hat on me just because I changed my name to the Ditwicks.
You did.
Much like Raisin is known for being the person who's a boy in real life, I am known for the person to change my nickname all the time, because I've changed my nickname once within a 4-year period.
I am known to be a boy in real life.
That's kind of like the only thing I know you for. When people are like, "Hey, what's Raisin like?" I'm like, "He's a boy in real life."
I'm a man.
Like,
a whole man.
I mean, most people would expect him to be a woman, but
no.
Hello. Not me.
But let me talk about GoFest.
All right, you talk about GoFest.
So GoFest is probably one of, if not the biggest event in Pokemon Go every year starting in 2017. And starting in 2017, it's this live event to where people from all around the world can attend, and they get super rare Pokemon, super good shiny chances. A great event.
Oh yeah, the first GoFest we ever participated in, which it became global because of COVID.
Yes.
Since it's like, okay, we don't want everybody to show up at Las Vegas and be cramped together. We're just gonna make it available for everybody. We were super excited. Because, like, as soon as the event started and, like, all these exclusives that we didn't have access to started appearing with an increased shiny rate, like, you, like, rushed over to my house. Like, I don't think we originally made plans that day.
Yeah.
But once the event started, we were like, holy crap, we need to go to the park, like, immediately. You rushed to my house, we rushed to the park, and then we spent the entire day there.
It was like a 8-hour day.
Like, we did not leave. Like, it was, 8 hours.
It's
so
over the
long.
weekend, too. Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. And
8 hours both days.
We stayed for the entire event, both
we
days.
did.
So 16 full hours.
It was insane.
It was worth it, because it was like shiny Durant, shiny Heatran, which one of those used to be exclusive at the time.
Heatmore.
Heatmore. Yeah, Heatmore, not Heatran. Duramaka was released. And a bunch of regionals.
It was insane.
The regionals.
It was insane. So for the past few years, since COVID has kind of died down, I guess, people, I guess, just don't care about it anymore.
It stopped being relevant now that it doesn't really work for them.
So Niantic now holds in-person events and global events for GoFest. And another event, Go Tour, which Go Tour is, it focuses on one region, and this past February we just recently had Hoenn Go Tour, and we'll get into that in a second because that was a little bit underwhelming. But anywho, Haas, back to GoFest. So they have the in-person and the global. They obviously want people to go to the in-person events more.
Yeah. Well, they pay for like tickets when they get there.
Yes. So,
and you only have to pay for the pass on if you're doing a global thing.
And they're like all around the world. There was like one in the US, there was one in like Japan. And this year for 2023, there's going to be one in London. I think like Osaka, Japan, somewhere in Japan. And then I think in New York. So, and the thing with this Go Fest for 2023 is usually the past like 2 years, I think it's been, they've held the in-person events at like different dates, and then the global was after all of the in-person ones. It's always been in like June, July.
Yeah.
Well, we just got the announcement this week for GoFest. The first announcement for this year, which it's pretty much May right now.
Mm-hmm.
Next week is May. We should have already had the announcement, but the reason the announcement came so late is because GoFest is going to be late. It's going to be in August.
Which is really weird. And
like mid-August, which is very weird, especially for like school, I guess. I don't know when school starts.
If kids want to participate, they just can't now. Our school would start in August.
Yeah. So, and then also the London and the Japan one are at the same time.
Oh, that's
same
very
date.
Weird.
And then I think New York is like mid-August. And I think Global is like late August. I don't know why New York is so special. Why it gets a different date. I don't get it.
I don't There's a lot of events that happen in New York, and I guess they couldn't get the time slot they wanted, so it's like, when can we do it? You can do it this day. It's like, alright, whatever.
I guess
New York is a very busy place.
I guess, I don't know. So, like I said, we just got the announcement this week. After the whole raid pass thing went down. There's been a lot of stuff on social media going about, like they using the hashtag #HearUsNiantic from the community. Well, we want Niantic to hear us, hear our concerns for the game, and to show them that the raid pass thing is not a correct move.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't done anything. They haven't like made a comment on it at all.
They do not care.
And
that's how most people are taking it.
So people are like saying like, alright, well we're not just gonna spend money on Pokemon Go right now anymore. Until they like hear us. We're gonna put our foot down. Well then here comes the GoFest announcement. And for the live in-person events you have to buy a ticket to go to this event. On top of like plane ticket, travel fees, all that.
Mm-hmm.
So you already have to buy a ticket. A lot of people have already bought the ticket.
They should have waited. Especially for those who are irritated with Pokemon Go right now. I haven't bought the ticket yet.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy it until very close to the event because I do not want to give them money until they fix this issue.
Yeah. So like what this is all doing from what I've seen on Twitter is a lot of diversity.
Oh, yep.
Coming
Niantic
between,
is splitting the community into...
Coming between the community. Because people like getting mad at like... Because for some people, Pokemon Go is like their job.
Yeah.
Like some creators, like all they do is Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
So like some people like that who are like saying like, oh, they've already bought their ticket and everything. And then like someone like their quote unquote supporters are like sending them. I saw one guy, I won't put his name out there, but it's a well-known Pokemon Go creator. Like he put out that he bought his like ticket to go to one of the live in-person Go Fests, and he got some like death threats.
You shouldn't be buying these tickets.
Yep.
They are screwing every Pokemon Go player. We need to stand together.
Yep.
And not give them money so they can go back to doing what's right. That's
One of
a
them
lot of
even,
people's opinions.
One of the comments even like mentioned like suicide.
Jesus Christ. Over Pokemon Go?
Yeah. So it's creating a... Good morning.
That might be tiny.
So it's creating a big gap in the community, and it's not going good. And I kind of figured this would happen.
This is to be expected.
To where like
you can't make bad decisions like that and not expect the entire community to hate each other for supporting you when you're ruining like a big part of the community. Like
they made a bad decision with the raid passes, and now they put out this thing about GoFest and like, hey, you can buy your tickets now for this awesome event that you all know and you all love. It
almost feels intentional.
Like they're trying to cover it up.
Like this kind of goes along more with the theory of, Niantic trying to make Pokemon Go look bad.
Yeah. It's insane, it's wild, it's stupid.
I think my door's locked. I might need to unlock it to let him in.
I'll go check.
Okay.
We'll take a pause. Don't get the shiny.
I'm like right in the middle of hatching.
We'll stop.
Okay, I'll stop.
I've let the child in.
Huzzah!
Oh! Tiny, quick. Do you think Pokemon Go is dying?
Yes, and I'm glad.
Yes, and I'm glad. Here, join us while we finish up our conversation.
We're supposed to be leaving.
We'll leave.
Is it 3? Oh, it is.
Y'all not even ready to leave.
Hold up, we got some comments we have to read. Join us real quick.
We're almost done. Get over here.
We're almost done.
Get your cute little booty over here.
Pack.
Get your cute little booty over here.
He said he was working till 3, so
These hoes
we
even ready to leave.
We are trying to discuss the future of Pokemon Go, the game
it's a
we
very
all know and
heated
love.
topic right now.
Is it?
Yes, it is. Because they are screwing with us. For an incentive to boost their new game that they came out and owned the copyright to.
Mm-hmm.
So Taylor, as an avid fan of Pokemon Go, why do you think the game is dying?
Because it's gay and boring.
And with that being said, we're going to read more comments. Join us so you're in frame.
Come here, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to read the comments?
Sure.
You could be the reader.
Okay. Smelly Yow says on April 27th, they are digging their own grave. TBH. I've shrugged my shoulders at a lot of the changes, but the recent rising costs for remote passes sucks. Maybe don't be broke. I've mostly stopped spending cash on the game and only get raid passes through gym defending coins, and it is a drag because I don't go out to raid like I used to. The formula is tired, especially after the shift due to COVID. In parentheses, loved old school community day gatherings and making new real friends, ... It's just not the same.
Good job.
I agree with you, Smelly. That's pretty much exactly what we've been talking about. They've increased the amount for raid passes, almost doubled them. So it's like $2 for a
Just
remote
make
raid
more
pass.
money, forehead.
You go to forehead?
I mean, look at his profile pic.
He's just a happy man. Why are you judging his
He's
happy
not
appearance?
happy right now.
He's not.
Not on April 27th. he's not.
This is a nice little thin laptop.
Yeah, it's like $1,500.
Jesus Christ.
Well, it's my editing iPad that I use for. No, go down.
Down.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there's more. That being said, I do still play, but it has really become an idle at work kind of game. I'll go out to the park for one day of region tour events, but that's ... What, once a year now? LOL.
Good job.
Okay, so this guy only plays like once a year, which is not as frequent as me and you play.
Oh, this mic. This is our last comment.
Is this really the?
Jesus Christ.
Is this really our last comment?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Who
This
has
is a very long one.
Who has the time to rate this?
This is
About
the
video
longest
game.
comment we've ever gotten, by the way.
This
All
is
right.
one that took 3 screenshots.
Yep.
Chicken tacos. I personally haven't played it in years. I found the lack of story uninteresting. I mean, you're just throwing balls at stuff. Personally, and I also had 10,000 issues with the controls being... Is there controls in this game? You just, like, click on stuff. Being told to stop driving while standing in my backyard. That was annoying.
Yeah, a lot
I
of people
think
do
that there has been a definite dip in the amount I've been seeing about it recently, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was largely due to pay-to-play features. I imagine in this dying game, or dying the same death games like Animal Crossing, Pocket Camp, are fans of the original game series come in for a new spin-off. See a lot of the paid features or microtransactions, deal with it for a little while, get bored with the unpaid features, maybe pay it once or twice, but ultimately it's not enough to keep them interested, and so people then discard it for the base game series where you buy an entire game. Don't read that at once. Okay. Where you buy an entire game at once. Why'd you cross that out for?
I didn't cross that out.
Oh.
That's an option they can do on Tumblr where they write something and then put a line through it.
Do they not have a backspace button?
No, they do that to make a point, but it's like, I never said this.
But it's like none of my business.
Yeah, it's like, so they said, well, arguably an entire game looking.
Oh, don't say it then.
Looking at you, New Horizons DLC.
understand. Half these people.
Could've
It's
been
like
this game.
it's like
Not a word
it's
of
like
thought
a
anyways.
direct insult,
They're
but
taking a
like
shot.
I didn't really say that.
They took a shot at New Horizons.
Bunch of. It feels like a step down, and I won't hold people's attention. I think Pokemon Go also taught a lot of new things that just tried. That too, same thing. Tired out a lot of things that just didn't pan out. We've seen the mechanic of actually throwing the balls, staying in the games like Legend of Agrius. But
Agrius?
I don't know how to.
Ancreus,
You know how much I
the
know
god Ancreus.
about Pokemon. Arceus, there, is that right?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty
Or
right.
it could be Arceus.
But largely, I think many of the ideas and mechanics of the game are fun for what they are, but just didn't work out in a cohesive way for the series as a whole. Which brings me to my next point. My opinion, it didn't feel like Pokemon. Pokemon's not Pokemon anymore. Okay, I am biased as someone who started the core series and spin-off console games at a young age, but I miss the funky NPCs, the personality, and the spunk of the game. The personality, that's twice. Okay. Oh, that's a screenshot, Brad.
Yeah, I had
Okay.
to screenshot.
The colors also
message.
felt kind of washed out. Racist. Maybe that just a weird me issue. Does he know English? Maybe that's just a weird me issue through.
Yeah.
Weird me issue.
Though.
No.
It's a weird.
Do
me
I know
issue.
English?
No.
I think Pokemon Go was really fun for what it was, but ultimately the games like this are often bound to fail in my personal opinion, and as someone who has not played it recently, caveat.
I really thought you were gonna say caveat.
Well, that's the end of the comment. Sorry if that one got butchered for you, person.
Do I know English?
But it sounds like they specifically care more about the actual game aspect rather than just Pokemon Go. Like,
You mean
Catch-
they care about
catch
money
and keep going
more
on.
than they care about a player base.
which I mean, the game was it's a mobile game, and they wanted to make something good for ADHD minds. You do a task and then you go on to the next thing. You're not there reading a bunch of dialogue.
I found it funny how they said the lack of story.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
there
I said.
really-
You just walk
there
around
is
and
no-
toss balls at stuff.
There is no story. I mean, yeah, there's like quest, and like if you read the dialogue, it's like, oh, we have to figure out how to do this so we can unlock this, and then there's supposed to be some kind of mythical, legendary going through the world, and we have to find that. It's like, yeah, that could be considered story, but most of the time people just press A. Okay,
Yeah.
the quest is catch 10 Pokemon.
AKA me.
You catch 10 Pokemon and you progress to the next part of the story. So it's not really a story-driven game, but there is like dialogue in it. Like I said, it's a mobile game, so it's kind of made to be quick, throw your balls, get enough candies to where you can evolve it, and then you move on to catching something else. And pretty much just shiny hunting. It's kind of like, it's almost like in-game content for a Pokemon game.
Yeah.
When you think about it, you're only there to catch stuff, train, and find shinies. Which that's something that's up me and your alley. So we kind of fully like that type of gameplay.
You and him?
I was pointing to you,
Oh, okay.
That game bores me to death.
but you love Pokemon Go.
No, I do not.
I have videos of you
We have
running outside
footage.
to catch a Turtwig.
Because I had nothing better to do.
You were
You
so
were at the
excited.
beach?
We were at the beach. How you could have been flirting with women.
No.
You chose Pokemon Go over
I
flirting
had a
with women.
girlfriend at the time.
And how has that gone for you?
Terribly.
You should have been playing Pokemon
I
Go.
blame the Torchic.
It was a Turtwig.
Turtwig.
Whatever it's called.
It's a Turtwig.
Turtwig. You were very excited about it. It's like, I don't have this one.
I'm glad.
I think you had Torchic.
Probably.
Tiny, what are your final thoughts on Pokemon Go?
God, I hope it disappears off the face of the earth.
Tiny's not a very Pokemon inspired fan.
He likes Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, Rainbow Six
No, I
Siege.
absolutely
He likes-
despise that.
He likes to
game.
collect the rainbows.
She likes Battlefield.
A six of
The game's
rainbows.
also garbage. Actually, all I do now is watch anime. So,
Games suck.
they do.
All games
They
should
all
go die.
suck. They're all terrible now. They're
Um,
horrible. Nothing's been entertaining.
This is my last batch. Raisin, anything you want to say about GoFest? I feel like the conversations can be ended kind of short, but I feel like we got to the main issue of the topics.
We did. I feel like
The last few GoFests kind of suck. The shiny odds have
well, not
been...
the Go Fest. I feel
The
like
shiny
they've
odds
been
haven't
good.
been as good as they used to be.
Ho and
You've
Toy,
gotten lucky.
I'm a very lucky.
You've gotten lucky the last two GoFests because you got like 20 shinies. Me, Mike, and Kayla all got like 3 to 5.
Well, don't lump Michael into
Oh,
that.
it's a Rattata. A Ratchet, whatever it's
A
called.
Ratchet. It's my Ratchatata.
Was that right the first time?
It was Rattata.
Rattata.
Ta-ta-ta.
Rattata.
Why do they have to add an extra syllable onto that? Rattata?
It's Japanese.
Rattata?
It's
What do you
Japanese.
mean? What do you
Is
mean
it
an extra
rat-
syllable?
So you it's
Rat-atta.
Rattata?
Ratata.
Why just call it Rattat? Rattat?
Ratat. I think Ratatata sounds better than Ratat. Ratat sounds like it's not finished. Thank you guys for watching us talk about Pokemon Go. We do these videos mostly every week.
What is this?
This is this Dragonair.
What? It's a shiny Dragonail. Here's the regular one.
Why do you have two of these?
They came in a dual package. You can make a heart with them.
I was just thinking that. Break their necks.
It's always a joy having you on these.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, it's got a little spinal cord in it. What
Yeah,
is this?
to make sure it keeps the shape.
There we
There you
go.
go, a heart.
We love you.
We
guys.
love you,
At
viewers.
the cost of whatever the hell these Pokemon are.
Dragons. Dragon ears. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Bye.